Say overall, I'm pretty happy with the candidates I have to choose from.
Honestly, I think the Democrats have a good round of candidates. As far as in Obama and Hillary, not so much Edwards. But I think they're pretty strong candidates. I think they're going to take the White House. Screw the Republicans.
Yeah, this is the year for the Democrats, but on the Republican side, I think Ron Paul has a real strong case, especially with his mission to like revitalize our economy. So.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
No, you honestly think Ron Paul has a strong case?
No, I think he is. Even though he's catching momentum.
Dude, he's got the young popular vote, but nobody's going to vote for him. He doesn't have a strong case. The guy's a nut. He's talking about bringing back the gold standard.
No, well, you know what? We're in a real fucked up. We're in a crisis now. We're in a real fucked up state where our country is like in shit.
Okay, yeah. So throwing away all our money and bringing back the gold standard. That's the answer. That's definitely the answer. Let's go back to 1914.
Well, I think there's only one candidate who really stands out, and that's Ron Paul, because he believes in the Constitution and limiting the size of government. And I think all the other candidates would just perpetuate the increasing size of government. So he's really the only candidate I'm taking seriously at this point.
I don't know, one's emotional. Hillary's crying. Obama wants to win, but everybody knows he's a good guy. But does he have a chance? I don't think so. Then there's the Republicans, and the Republicans, I don't know, everybody has a view on the Republicans. I don't know. Mine is kind of like, they have so much power. Just being Republican in general.
Oh.
I feel like we should choose the best candidate who's offering the most, who's, like, as far as the war, it's like too much going on just for oil. I don't feel like it's necessary.
I guess I would say that as far as the Republicans go, it's pretty sad. Democrats, maybe a little bit better than the last election. Nobody's John Kerry in this election, and I think that makes everybody happy.
Personally, I'd love to see a third-party candidate rise up. I'd love to see Nader. I think Nader would actually have a much better chance of this election than the past two elections he's run in. I think that is someone who really has a record of change and is really someone who can make a difference.
As of right now, I'm not really that interested in the presidential race because the candidates didn't really seem to appeal to me. Like my family, like my dad's mostly a Republican. But me right now, even though I'm age of vote, I really don't know who I would vote for, but I'm not really sure. I've seen one debate and who I like was Ron Paul.
To be honest, I'm not really excited about it at all. I think it's more of the same old, same old. The candidates, I think they're, it's kind of interesting, I think, because a lot of the candidates are very close, in the race and the primaries. But for me, as a political radical, it's not, I don't really care who wins. Even though, of course, I would prefer, I think, that Edwards wins.
Well, I haven't really been following the whole entire election, but I know about two candidates in particular, which is the most popular, which is Hillary Clinton, or Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Barack Obama. And I feel that, this is a great time in history that we can have a potential African-American president as well as a white woman.
Oh my God.
As well as a woman. Okay.
I guess they keep saying that they're against the war, but yet they want to support it until 2013, and none of them are willing to commit to actually withdrawing troops out of Iraq, even though they're actually building, I think it's 3 or 7 major bases, like huge cement bases in Iraq, where they want to control. They're just saying no, we're going to pull out, but they're not really going to mean it. They're going to stay there for the long run, and they're going to control the country. That's why Kucinich was actually out, because he said, I'm going to pull everybody out.
Right.
Want that.
I don't think it'll play much role. I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, religion doesn't talk about that much because I think at the end of the day, Americans put it aside when they vote. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think it'll be that big.
I think that when you go into office, you need to, if you're a Christian, you need to have an accountability buddy. A Christian that you meet with regularly. You need to have a church that's upholding you in prayer. You should still spend time in the Bible. You should spend time in prayer. If you don't do any or all of those things, if you neglect any one of those or all those things that I just mentioned, then I think you're bound to, you're going to have a flip-floppy life when you get in office, and you're going to look like those things that you're just talking about. Your walk and talk are going to be 180.
Right.
Follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's happened. It's happened with too many of our political candidates. You know, if you're a Christian and you think God's calling you to run for office, fine. But, you know, you've got to be consistent. He and I just talked about this 30 minutes ago.
Consistency?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what it is I read in the Bible and what the Lord lays in my heart have to be the same.
Absolutely.
Even with Christians in politics.
All right.
Don't just vote or die. Just follow P. Diddy, you know. I just think it's time that we need to vote. And I feel that, you know, if we inform more young people to go out there and vote, then I feel that it will be a great process and great ending outcome.
Money dominated by the companies. Like they just finished pulling Dennis Kucinich out because he was banned from actually going to debates just because he didn't support he was supporting health insurance for everybody. And in the New Hampshire debate was sponsored by ARP, which wanted everybody who was in that debate to actually sign a paper saying that you're not for it because ARP is actually a company for actually insurance.
The war, definitely, because the longer we stay overseas, the more hatred we're just going to build for our countries.
Blowback, right?
Right, blowback.
That really nobody else is there. No Republicans. I like Ron Paul.
You know what he wants to get rid of?
He wants to
Fed. He wants to get rid of
exactly
the
the Fed Reserve.
You know what the Federal Reserve is?
Yes.
We don't have an actual Federal Reserve. All it is a bunch. What happens is our Federal Reserve is a bunch of private banks.
No, the Federal Reserve is a board.
We have
of owners from private
everyone
banks.
thinks like we have this money in the Treasury, bam, we have all this money, but we really don't. All it is investments into other private bank systems. Revitalize our
That's
economy.
all it is.
Fucking
A piece of paper, a paper of money is nothing but a unit to buy something. You're not going to go to the grocery store and be like, all right, here, let me give you 5 ounces of gold. Fuck that. You use the paper. The Federal Reserve is simply what puts the value in the paper. It puts,
it doesn't exist.
This paper, this $1 is not worth this much. That's what the Federal Reserve determines. By flooding the market with money and by taking it out of the market, they determine the value of that dollar.
You know what?
I think McCain lost his shot in 2004 when he decided to, play to the right base. And I think Giuliani just didn't have a shot because all he's had ever was 9/11. And hell, I could have.
The biggest issue is the war in Iraq, I believe. And just because we're there and just because it's not even an issue, it's just something to talk about. And once, there's other issues going on and then they just bring up the war just to be like, oh, well, we could do this. And, well, how about this? Well, no, well, then there's the war, It's they're smart at what they do because, there's some topics they don't even want to touch on. Like religion, they want to stay away from that because they know they have their religious beliefs, but if they go with it, people are going to lose interest. So, like I said, it's more about morality versus rules, and it's just a big clash on how it all